Primetime games are the best, though, for sure. Speaking of primetime, there's a man who's going to be covering the NFL in primetime all season long for Amazon. Their first game is starting week 2, Thursday Night Football. You will be able to hear his incredibly intelligent, quick wit, and handsome voice in the NFL for the first time.
Here we go.
Full time in his entire career. We've been begging him to join the men's league for some time now. He's finally doing it. Thank God is what all of us NFL fans are saying. Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon Thursday Night Football color commentator Kirk Herbstreit.
Yay!
What's up, man?
Your beauty. You know what I heard? The word on the street is that the players really love that short week 8:15 Thursday night game on Amazon. That's what I'm hearing.
You know, it's always split. I feel like it's split because some guys, like the big guys, I think they hate everything. You know, the big guys hate everything, though. Like offensive linemen are going to hate everything regardless of when they're playing. There's always going to be something because they're in incredible pain. They do hand-to-hand combat every single day. And towards the end of the season, it's guys aren't back to like walking normally until Wednesday. And then they have a game on Thursday, but they know that long weekend's on the backside of it. So I think people are kind of split.
Honestly, for the fans, tell them what a Thursday night game is like for the players, for not just the big guys, but the game ends Sunday. Let's say it's a 1 o'clock game. It ends at 4 o'clock. You have your family, friends. Just walk us through from Sunday evening to Thursday, what it's like for a player.
Okay, young Pat McAfee, game over, 4 o'clock or whatever, played at 1 o'clock. I'm probably heading downtown to one of these restaurants with my family, having a couple cocktails, then maybe going to another restaurant that's closer to my house, going to bed. Yeah, probably hammering it pretty heavy during Sunday Night Football, if I had to guess. Then going to bed, waking up Monday afternoon, go through the film. Tuesday off day. Wednesday we're in. Thursday we're in. Friday we're in. Saturday walkthrough. Sunday game. For Thursday Night Football, Sunday you go home. Maybe tie one on for about an hour if guys have a problem and need to let loose a little bit. Most people going home, though. Monday, all of a sudden, isn't in the afternoon. It's like in the morning. We need to go through some stuff. Walkthrough, though. All walkthroughs with only people that are available. Tuesday, walkthrough with only the people that are available. If you're hurt, you're in the rehab, in the meeting room. Wednesday, travel day. Thursday, game. I mean, there's like not a lot of practice. There's not a lot of prep. I think you're going to see that with like the game plans. I think for Thursday Night Football, it's going to be very relatable, and they're just trying to get guys to Thursday almost. You know what I mean, Herbie?
Because I'm thinking if you work backwards, if Thursday's technically now Sunday for you as a player, because I know coaches, they're all about trying to keep things, and players all about trying to keep it consistent as far as your repetitions of your week. It's got to be a virus to your computer. So if Thursday's now Sunday, Monday is what? Thursday?
Yeah. And you miss Wednesday, which is install day.
I mean, it must just be trim all the fat off, streamline, and go out there and execute and try not to make mistakes.
Hey, by the way, it's better for some guys, right? Like you'll see that for some offenses actually get better on Thursday night because it's easy, it's simple. It's like, hey, we just need to do our best stuff. Let's keep it moving. You see defenses. I don't know if you see many exotics coming or anything like that. You're seeing a lot of, like, I think that is why Thursday is fascinating for me to hear you call, because you have great football insight whenever you're calling the college games, when you've called the NFL games. And I think you're going to be able to even break it down even more for Thursday games, especially with how stripped down the game plan is, just strictly because of how short it is. Follow up, have you already started prepping for all this, looking into teams? Because the schedule came out. Hey, you got some good games.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Thursday football's got some good games. Have you started prepping? What is the process here?
Yeah, Chris Collinsworth has that PFF in Cincinnati, and that's where I am right now. And so I'm just in the process. I'm waiting till the schedule came out. We got ahead of it because week 1 we knew Chargers Chiefs, which how about that? Herbert and Mahomes in Kansas City to get it kicked off on Thursday night starting week 2. So I knew about that one. So I've already been over there visiting with them and kind of going over. I'm just trying to lay a foundation. Like if you said Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee, USC, I mean, I could give you a kind of a foundation of who they are, what their DNA is, without really looking at anything. And that's what I'm going to try to build here in May and June and July, is just kind of build that foundation up. Now that I know the teams that I'm doing, I'm just going to work from that Chargers Chiefs game all the way down and do one a week so I can really dive in and understand and study the coordinators and understand the scheme. They're a heavy man team. These guys love the quick game. Whatever it is, just try to really understand it. So when I get to week 1 or week 3 or week 5, I'll have a folder or foundation of what I want to get into and then kind of stay up with it as the season goes on. But you're right. I mean, our schedule, everybody's wondering what kind of schedule would Amazon get year 1. Clearly, Roger Goodell and the NFL have made this a big initiative. I mean, right out of the gate, and look at these games.
Yeah, I mean well, just as soon as you get into like Colts Broncos is going to be massive.
Yeah,
I mean that is absolutely massive.
Even Steelers Browns,
huge.
I grew up in it used to be AFC Central. I mean, remember the heyday of the Steelers and the Browns and the Bengals and everybody just hating each other and the Ravens. And so Steelers Browns, and with both those teams, kind of a new era for both of them. Both of them want to get off to a good start. So I'm fired up about that. Tua with Tyreek Hill coming over and Jalen Waddle against Joe Burrow, Indianapolis, your squad, and Denver. I mean, those 4 games right there.
Great.
Can't ask for much more.
Well, then let's go. I mean, let's not just skip over the Bears Washington.
Yeah,
and the Saints Cardinals are going to be good as well. But look, you got Lamar and Tom Brady on fucking. I mean, that is electric. That is now. Granted, Kirk. The thing about Thursday Night Football is, and I've heard this, Tennessee and Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait till he watches the Davis Mills tape.
Fucking Bills,
Pats.
Yeah. I'm calling a game with Braves on the road at Lambeau.
Yes.
In November.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get the snow coming down.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's live a little bit. I mean, but if you look at these, they're all not all. There's a couple doozies in there, but you're going to have that. But some of these teams that we think might be shit, they might be great teams. That's why the issue is with scheduling Thursday. And I think we heard this from Fox or maybe NFL Network. I forget who was talking about it. But with Thursday, you can't flex the games. So right. Sunday night football, you can flex the game. Monday, they can't flex the game. So projecting out what teams are going to be most healthy, what teams are going to be good 2 months, 3 months into the season is damn near impossible. But it feels like they got it right, Kirk. It feels like that you guys got some bangers.
All 14 teams that were in the postseason last year are on this schedule, which is great. Both number 1 seeds playing each other, with the Titans going to Green Bay, the game we talked about. If you went down, and because I did it, I went down and I listed every quarterback of every team that we have. I mean, it's basically every quarterback that you've heard of and that you would consider a Pro Bowl caliber candidate we have on this package. So you got quarterbacks, you got teams that were in the playoffs all last year. You got some great venues. You got some divisional rivalries. So, yeah, man, when I saw it, because I didn't know what to expect. And because I've watched a lot of Thursday Night Football like you over the years, there haven't been a ton of great games. So I didn't know if it would be like that or not. And man, I was fired up, to say the least. And I mentioned those first 4 games. There's a pretty good stretch there. November 17th, week 11, that Titans Packers. Then you go Buffalo, New England. Then you got Raiders,
Rams,
49ers at the Seahawks. I mean, that's a pretty good run.
Jags and Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Banger.
Jags.
You know what? Because we're crazy. It's a chance to see 2 young quarterbacks and a lot of first time.
Yeah. You would love that, by the way, because you get the chance to see Zach and Trevor, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. That's very late into the season. Hopefully there.
Hopefully.
And then wrapping it up, and once again with Braves at home in Nashville with the Cowboys, Jerry's team coming to town. I mean, it seems like it's a home run for the Thursday Night Football folks. How's your relationship with Al Michaels? You guys been eating meat together? You guys gelling together?
I've hung out with him now 2 or 3 times. We did some stuff in LA, and then I had to go to New York last week. I had dinner or lunch with his wife, Linda, my wife, Allison, one of my sons, Jake, who's coming over to hang out with you guys.
Had a baby Jake.
Jake.
And
we just hung out, had a chance to just to get to know him. I'm big on that. I don't know how you feel when you go into a new deal. I love like Wednesday night dinner. I just want to make a staple and just hang out and get to know him, and hopefully he'll get to know me. And I feel like when you do that, it really allows you, like you guys have on this show, just to have natural chemistry. I've told you guys that before, but
go to hell, Ty.
when you do that, I mean, have you ever worked with people in TV? I know these are your boys, but have you ever worked with people where you just didn't really know them and you're kind of feeling your way out on air as opposed to making that effort socially, like at a dinner? tough.
Yeah, I feel like that should be a part of the whole thing. You know, that should be a part of the whole process. Is like, hey, you two shouldn't be strangers to each other. Have you talked to him about the vegetables or anything like that? Have you talked to him?
Yeah, that's been a big topic.
Yeah.
He as you know, he'll have nothing. Anything that's green is not getting anywhere close to his plate.
Do you guys golf together? Have you golfed yet? I heard he's a great golfer.
No, not yet. Not yet. I've been watching you with the net. I don't know if I want to golf with you. You might be too advanced for me already.
Well, Justin Thomas said it ain't worth shit.
I saw.
Yeah.
I saw.
That's so rude that he did that.
So here's what I do. I set par at 100. So if I shoot a 98, I shot at 200. That's the way I play golf.
Hey, that's a much better way to enjoy it. I play with people that keep score every single round. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how
I want music. I want music in the cart. And you can burp and blow in my backswing because I like noise.
Yeah.
I like energy. I don't want
let's have a good time. What are we doing here? Let's have fun.
Bye.
Yeah, and if you get a couple birdies through the day, it's like, I got 2 birdies. I'd pick up on the other 14 holes. But like, there's people that keep score and keep track and play by like the PGA rules every single time, and they are not good golfers. I don't know how they continue to go out there. It's like, hey, who has 8 hours at a time to do this? Bruce?
Dude, in Tahoe, do you have to play the ball down? Like you if you're behind a tree, you gotta like
play it as it lies, boy. I believe is what they're gonna say to me. Yeah.
He has to wear pants.
Bro, I gotta wear fucking pants.
Oh my God.
I gotta walk.
You gotta wear pants?
And I gotta walk. And I gotta walk. Walk and wear pants. I'm fucking Tiger Woods, dude. What are we even? I mean, it's the PGA rules, Herbie. I can't fluff it, can't roll it, nothing. I'm dead.
Wait. You can't even wear like your capri jeans or anything like that. I mean,
what's that guy's name? Rest in peace.
Payne Stewart.
Have to.
On knickers?
Have to.
Oh, yeah, you have to one day. Have to one day.
Have to. The high socks are the problem, though, because these calves in the hair, I would have to shave the legs. That would get very painful. But maybe it'd make me a good golfer. Whatever, Herbie. Let's get back to fucking football.
What do you shoot? Honestly,
I have no idea.
You with me in the 100 range?
No,
definitely not.
No, maybe not. Not par either. Like I don't keep
Somewhere
track.
in the middle of those two.
I don't keep track. I can play. This is the issue. Tahoe will be the first time that I'm playing 18 holes straight through. Years, probably. And then the next day, another 18, another day. I could play good golf. Clyde Christensen, quarterback coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was kind of the one that wanted to force me into golf. He thought I could be a good golfer. And we'd start, there would be a little side bets going on in my golf game. Once I got to like hole 13, 14, he knew I was dead. So he's pressing, double down, bang, 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 and we end up, me down a bunch by the end of it. So I think that's going to be an issue for me. Because I don't know what I am. I have no idea what my handicap is because I can't get out and play 18 holes. And if I'm playing, I'm not keeping score. I'm like, if it gets lost, all right, I'm dropping one right here. I don't have 10 minutes to even look for this. Should I count it, though? Because if I was to look for it, I don't know. So I'll find out in Tahoe, Herbie. I'll find out.
You get mentally fatigued like me. So I play 9, and then I want a cup of chili and a sandwich or something. Like I've had enough after 9. That's normally my plan.
Hey, you really like that chili? That stuff from
No.
The Cincinnati
Skyline?
chili.
No.
It's okay. No, not really. Not big.
Okay, good. So whenever do you guys have a game in Cincy? I don't even know if you're in Cincy. Don't do that. Like, I hate that that's the only thing that Cincy's known for. It feels like every single time it's on TV.
We have Dolphins Bengals. It's like our 3rd game. Yeah. I probably won't be doing that one.
You guys should probably feature the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. They're getting hot.
They are.
They are getting hot. They're playing better
they're
than
hot
last
because
week.
they're playing your Pirates. That's
Whoa. They're not my Pirates. They're Cone's Pirates.
Check the standings.
Sell team.
Hey, Herbie, big time Cincinnati Reds fan. How about the owner cutting a promo? What are you going to do about it? You going to be a fan of another team? You're not. Shut up. And then he loses 20 straight games. What happened? You're a diehard Reds fan, right? Aren't you?
That was called karma. Opening day, they had split with the Braves, the defending world champs, 2-2. Come back home, and it's a big deal in Cincy, the home opening day. And he got interviewed. Hey, the fans are a little bit frustrated with you getting rid of all these good players. He's like you said, what are you going to do? What other options do you have? He goes, and he said, if I'm a smart businessman, I'd take this franchise to another market. You're talking about one of the most historical professional sports franchises of all time. He's like, we're just going to leave. Then he backpedaled out of that, and they haven't. I think they've won 3 games. If they weren't playing the Pirates, they've won, I think 2 games.
All
since he said that.
Listen, the Pirates owner won't even come out and say it. At least your guy said it. You know, your guy, like, I think they're at least warranted. Like, yeah, we're just here to collect money, dude, and there's nothing you can do about it. The Pirates are operating in the same fashion. Football 1, baseball 2 for you?
Oh, well, growing up, I grew up near the Big Red Machine. So it was depending on the year, you know, the time of the year. If it was baseball season, I was all about baseball.
Did you have a hose? You had a hose, huh? You had a pretty good arm?
Yeah. Baseball, I was probably better in baseball than football. Baseball, I love to hit.
Everyone says that.
I like to hit. Lefty.
Oh.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Were you a pitcher?
No, I threw right, but my dad taught me to hit lefty, so I'd have my pull hand as my dominant hand. And I don't know, I just always loved to hit. I played third base and shortstop.
And you what? In football, you guys ran like 80% of the time, right? You were just freak athletes shaking people.
Yeah, ask AJ. We were triple option, wishbone, Air Force. Yeah, 4-6 guy, pulling it, pitching. That's what we
Hey,
did.
4-6 isn't
Pretty-
bad.
that's pretty damn
4-6
good.
pretty good. Is that hand time or laser time?
Back then, I think it was hand time.
Oh, okay. Maybe 4-5.
Yeah, who
Maybe it
knows?
might have been a 4-5.
Yeah.
Might have been a 4-4. Might have been 4-8.
What,
Yeah.
what were you? What were you? You look like a 4-5, 4-6 guy.
Never got timed.
What?
Never got timed. Actually, never got timed. It was on
Did
Wiki.
you play any other positions in high school besides?
Soccer.
You- Really?
Yeah, I
They
should
didn't
have.
put you a running back or
Listen,
safety or something with
listen.
your mentality?
A lot of hindsight looking back on how I should have been handled at Plum High School. You know what I
You
mean?
should have been killing people. And safety
We
coming
all
up.
agree. Listen, we do believe that this is potentially a letdown.
What was your height and weight your junior and senior year?
I think I was about the same size I am now. 6 foot, maybe 215, 220.
And you didn't play linebacker or safety.
Bro, you should have seen me at soccer field.
That's called wasted talent.
Yeah, you don't say. You should see my fucking arm too. I mean, I could throw a ball forever. I mean, there's.
No, I'd have you killing people at safety and linebacker.
Oh, thanks. You want me to have CT? I appreciate it. Not quarterback, not the $100 million contract. We're going to get you a $20 million contract. You're right.
No. It's just a mentality that you would have brought to the defense.
Thank you. Yeah, I grew up in Pittsburgh, so we played football. I played a lot of pickup football with everybody, but I don't want to turn this into what was I? I was a very good soccer player. So, like, everybody thought I was going to make it in soccer. So I think the football people were like, we can't fuck up. Not a lot of people make it out of our high school to go on to things. I was getting very early looks, so I think that was the whole thing. Hindsight, though, I should have fucking had pads on. I mean, that is.
Yeah.
They would have stuck you at D tackle or something.
You think?
That's not
think?
true.
Wreak some havoc up the middle.
Herbie, he would have been he would have been one or two biggest guy on the team.
Yeah, our all-time leading sack haver, Haddle Bags. I think he and I are.
By the way, Western PA is some serious high school football too.
Yeah, I know. Should have been in there.
Yeah.
Well, glory days.
So, well, by the way, I mean, I know you obviously did great things. What happened to your soccer career? Did it just when football got serious, it just kind of faded?
No, it was. I literally had to decide one or the other when I was a senior in high school, and the actual conversation between myself, my dad, and my mom was, I would like to be rich in America, not in Europe, because at that time, the only place you could really get rich while playing soccer was in Europe. I think Beckham had come over and got like a few $100 million or whatever for the MLS, but they weren't really paying a lot of people. So like I would have had to go to Europe, and I didn't want to do it. So I chose to kick footballs, and that was an actual conversation that took place. Had one offer, Kent State, the Golden Flashes, offered me to kick, and then I went to a kicking camp a month before signing day. Banged home a 65-yard field goal. Had an offer from West Virginia the next day. Okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to go do this. And almost derailed it about 10 different times, fucking up, being terrible, not being focused. But it worked, so I'm pretty happy about it. Still think about the open-ended soccer career every once in a while, though. You know, like, wish I could have put a little bit of a bow in it, because it abruptly stopped. I mean, it stopped very quickly. But it all worked out, and now we're going to win the soccer Lombardi.
Hell yeah.
America's going to win the soccer Lombardi. I see you got the hat on. I mean, we're going to fucking do it. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, are you a big soccer fan?
No, fuck no. Can't watch it.
Come on.
Never could. Actually, it was probably a downfall of my game is I never watched how anybody else played. Like I probably would have learned from people if I would have watched it. Couldn't watch. Football fan. I was always grew up at Tim McAfee's house. Big football fan. I don't think he knew how we got into soccer or this entire thing. But let's get back to you. Fuck, Herbie. Enough. Jesus. Ty, your question for Herbie.
Herbie, not to change gears, but with
No, let's change it, please.
from the NFL to the NCAA, it looks like they're starting to try to maybe put some guidelines on the NIL deal. Do you think that, like, is teams like USC, who actually made a big impact this offseason, are any of these guys actually in jeopardy of not being able to play next year? And how do you think this kind of changes the whole impact of, like, boosters recruiting guys?
I think it's still to be determined, right? I think we're all still sitting back wondering, okay, we finally heard from the NCAA, but since they met in D.C. with the Supreme Court and they not only voted against them, they basically told them don't ever come back. They seem to have retreated, right, and just let everything happen. And now they come out with a statement. So I don't know how much teeth, does this thing have much teeth, as far as the ruling that they've recently come out with? And is anybody going to even respond to them? Is anybody going to fear that they have enforcement? Is this just lip service, or is something going to happen? I think all of us have reached a point where we agree that the players obviously should be freed up to do whatever they can with NIL. I think that there's another step to this. With the TV networks, I've never really said this publicly, but with the TV networks giving a lot of money to the college athletics, I think it's inevitable that eventually the players are going to have whether it's a union or somebody's going to represent them, and they're going to say that, hey, why not allow us to have a share of the television money? I think everybody's talking about the players are entitled and that kind of thing to be able to have NIL. That's at this point a given. I'm thinking more about if you're really looking at the players and saying, hey, what's in it for them? If I were a player, wouldn't you be talking about taking that next step? So I think it's inevitable, the path that we're heading down. But with all that being said, you need some rules. I mean, the NFL has rules to free agency. There are rules that you have to abide by. Right now in college athletics, there are no rules. And so I think that needs to be curtailed and under control. But I do think the players right now have a ton of momentum.
The TV rights in pie is something that's been talked about by college athletes and football players and basketball players for like 10, 15 years, almost like 20 years. Once these TV deals started being billions and billions of dollars, and we saw coaches' salaries going up and up and up, and buildings were being purchased and built and everything. It was like, holy hell, everybody around the athletes are going. And it started becoming a conversation, like players deserve a piece, the players deserve a piece. But the ability to create a union when it's so much turnover, Herbie, I think that's going to be the interesting thing, right? Because guys are graduating out of that. So who's going to be the person that everybody's going to trust enough to maintain the union and represent them? There's so much that goes into it. Hopefully now with a little bit more money involved and business involved, they'll be able to figure it out. But that could change the game mightily, right? Don't you think, Herbie?
And I've been one that's never really been on that side of that argument. I've just recently, these last 6-7 months, just trying to digest all of this, because it's been like a fire hose. Everything's happening at once. So I find myself a lot of times just thinking about what are the answers? Because right now what's happening, this isn't the answer. It's great to see some of these players that are making money, but there's no control. When you're poaching, let's just say Ball State or Pitt or Southern Miss or whoever, because they have an All-American freshman receiver, and big bad whoever goes in and says, oh, we need a receiver, we'll take him. We need an offensive line. That's not what this is about. So I don't like that. But I do like the idea that Jackson Smith and Jigba, who had a huge Rose Bowl, or C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, these established stars in the game can take advantage of that. That's wonderful. But enticements, going to a high school recruit and saying, hey, we'll give you $8 million if you sign a 3-year deal, that's not, I think, healthy for the game, because then you get a lot of outside sources coming in and corrupting a good thing. So I'm all for it, but I think there needs to be some rules to it. But I do think the next step is what you just said, because before I was never really in the argument, and now that we're going down this path, why not open up, what goes into the entire pile? And this is $1 billion industry, and it's only, to me, it's a matter of time till the players are going to start to say, hey, we want our share. We're the ones out on the field doing this. The coaches are making $8 or $10 million a year. it's time for us to get our share. I just think it's inevitable we're going to go there.
Herbie, people are going to hate it. They're going to be so mad. And I have no idea what the guardrails can be. Like whoever figures out how to properly word what the guardrails are, I'll be so impressed. So impressed because how do you...
can't.
You know what I mean? How do you put the words? I don't know how you do it, because if they're not just open or offering open money to people, they could say, hey, guys on our team get 4 appearances at these places for $25,000 every single year. Like that's what you'll get immediately upon signing here. So there's ways to slide that in there. I don't know how you.
I don't know. I don't know how you control it.
Me neither.
I just know, Pat. I just know that when I hear coaches say we're sometimes worried about doing the handshake after the game, because assistant coaches going up to our players saying, hey man, like they'll go up to a backup who they maybe recruited and he's not playing, and they'll talk to him like, hey man, I'll hit you up. And next thing you know,
transfer
2 or 3
portal.
weeks later, guys in the portal. I don't like that. I don't think that's good for the game personally.
Man, because some people need, and this is the whole transfer portal conversation, like if you don't have those struggles or speed bumps in your life,
Totally.
What are you going to become afterwards? But if you're able to make life-changing money too, how do you, it's a wild time.
But I don't know if it's life-changing money. I think it sounds good, but when you really get out there are a handful of guys that are making some good money. But I worry about these guys chasing short-term money to potentially wreck their futures.
Long-term, yeah.
I never played it down in the NFL, and I went through hell and back in my college career. Didn't love my assistant coach that had my position coach. Didn't love my coordinators till my last year. And, I would be a prime example of a guy that would have left, 5-star guy that's not happy as his first or second year, he just leaves. And I endured, not to pat me on the back, but what I learned through that, holy shit. I mean, is a game changer for me as a dad, as a husband, as an employee. I mean, I really went and learned about what I was capable of digging in and accomplishing. And then my senior year, I was able to play and be a captain and all that at the end. And if I didn't go through that, I don't know if I would have had those same feelings about myself and what I learned about going through that adversity. I knew you went through a ton of stuff yourself.
That's what I was about to say.
I think being challenged is really a healthy thing to go through as an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old guy. Helps you figure out life a little bit.
Yeah, I think I needed what happened to me. By the way, thank you for telling us about that. I needed what happened to me for the rest. You know what I mean? Like I got a bunch of death threats. I fucked up, had a bad game.
Dude, I remember your career very vividly. I remember that night. I don't until I started hanging out with you a little bit. I didn't know. I figured. I mean, you imagine being you today with social media, and you guys are going to the national championship. You're playing fit. I mean, it's no problem. Rivalry game, my ass. We're going to beat them. We're going. And then that happens. You imagine that kicker today, what he would have dealt with.
That's what I send messages to guys that are getting just absolutely cooked.
I hate it.
Yeah, I send guys messages like, hey, this is a terrible time in your life. I've been there. Thought about disappearing. I even looked at transferring to fucking Hawaii. I was like, how do I get as far away from here as possible? And if it was as easy as it feels like it is today, I wouldn't have been able to. Me walking back on that field first week, senior year, with that crowd that a lot of them booed me out of there and flipped me off literally on my way out and potentially told me to go kill myself and things like that.
How about that?
That moment of getting over that type of fear, it hardened me. I got hardened. I needed it for the rest of my life, I think. And I don't know how everybody.
But it's helped you. It's helped you to become who you are today.
I think so. I needed it forever.
And your passion and your F you mentality of I will dominate your ass. If you cross me, your ass is going down. That attitude, I think you may have already had it, but I think it went to it accelerated to a different level by going through that.
I think so too. And it sounds like you had the same type of thing, man. That's awesome. Look what we just did here.
Hell yeah.
We had a full moment there, you and me.
That's what it's all about, brother.
I can't wait to see you on Thursday Night Football. Can't wait to see you in the NFL. I know the Prime thing, you're probably going to catch a lot of heat on that.
What's the catch there? They don't like the app, or
it's just new. It's just new. So people hate everything that's new. But after, like 3 weeks, I assume everybody's just it's going to be the new norm.
Here's a quick thing, because I didn't really understand it myself. And then, anymore, everybody has these TVs with these apps. And so I watched a country music show that was live, like an award show, about a month ago, just because I wanted to see. Lay in bed, went to Prime, real simple, went to Apple TV,
Boom.
Prime Video.
Bang.
I clicked because it was a live show. So I wanted to see if I had to dig for it or what. First thing there.
Yeah.
So it was 2 buttons. Boom to Prime Video. There's the country show, whatever. Boom to that, and it was on. So it's almost simpler than turning on cable TV. So it's not that bad.
No, obviously, Kirk. I mean, you're speaking with reason and logic and things like that. That is not what happens on Twitter.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So like 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, after it's just become the new routine, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, we love this." But anytime there's change, people have a little drawback. I can't wait for this particular change because you guys are gonna kill it. Thank you for joining us. Can't wait to see you in person soon, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. I look forward to hooking up soon.
All
Thanks to you and all the boys there for bringing in Jake. Yeah, I know he's looking forward to hanging out with you guys this summer.
Hey, it should be fun. Let's hopefully teach him
There
some
we go,
stuff. He's
Jake.
probably smarter. He's definitely smarter than us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Whatever the case. Hey, he'll come out of here a good worker.
Harden him up a bit.
He'll come out of here a good worker.
Calluses.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit. Thank you, buddy.